Hey folks, this is Kevin. Welcome back to my channel about autonomous driving. I've gotten a few requests over the last few months to do a video going in depth on Waymo's user experience and covering some tips and tricks. So that's exactly what we'll get into today. Starting with how to hail a ride. So you open the app and it's just like Uber. You can type in your destination or you can pick from some of the recents. So I'll pick one that I have here. And Waymo is going to propose a route. Note that I have a $5 coupon in my account, so normally this would be $13.02, not $7.95. At this point, you can refine either the pickup or the drop-off. For example, I'll tap the pickup, and it's going to give you this, not super useful menu here. Usually there's one or two options. What you really want to do is adjust on map, and now you can zoom and pan around. So in this case, I can try to make the car stop at the very beginning of the block. And then I can click next and it'll give me an updated price based on the slightly changed destination or the slightly changed drop-off, and also the current conditions like whether there's surge pricing. We can do the same thing for the destination as well, but actually this route looks good to me, so I'm gonna hail the car now. It takes a while. It's typically faster than Uber, but not very snappy. All right, so now we've been assigned a plate. We can zoom out and see where the car is. It actually looks like, so the Waymo depot is kind of at the bottom of this map here. I suspect this car has just left the depot. So that's the car. Can switch on satellite mode. The depot is right here. So that's close enough. It's probably just came from there. So while we're waiting, we can do a couple of things here. First of all, it shows us not only the car's position, but also what it's doing. So in this case, the car is waiting at a red light that's indicated by the kind of speech bubble or thought bubble here. If we wanted to cancel, we can edit trip and cancel. I don't want to do that, so I'll select keep trip. And finally, Waymo can put your initials in the dome, what they call the dome, what other people might call the main LiDAR. And to do that, I'll tap my initials above the vehicle icon, and I can pick a different color. I can type, any two letters here, and we'll click done to accept it. I won't be able to see those changes today, unfortunately, because during the daylight, the shutter speeds don't quite work out to be able to see the LEDs in the dome. So that's all for now, and now we'll wait for the car to come. So the car should be coming up the hill just now. I adjusted the pickup slightly to demonstrate how to move the car after pickup. So here we go, the car's coming up the hill. I did adjust the pickup slightly, but it's still on the same block. So there we go. Good pullover. So the car is pulled over now, and now we see the app change state to ready at pickup. But let's say if we don't like this location for some reason, so sometimes Waymo will park very far away, we can actually still edit the trip at this point. Go back and tap the pickup location, and if I adjust on map here, can scoot this down the street a little bit more. Next, and then accept the updated cost. And Waymo will actually pull out and attempt to reach the new pickup location. I guess it wasn't far enough away. Okay, let's try to put it across the street here. Yeah, like that. So it says 2 minutes. Okay, so now the car is gonna do this stupid little loop here. Usually I just scoot it down the block, but I guess with whatever changes they made, that no longer works. So we'll see the car in, it seems like 2 minutes. And I think that was just like a rendering bug with maybe routes that loop around or something. Cool, so now the car is here. The dome LiDAR has been changed to the white color, although it's not showing up, so you just have to trust me on it. Now what we can do is we can, we have some controls here. We can honk the horn. And we can also, we're required to unlock the car with the unlock button. So there the handles come out. Now we can open the door, put our stuff in. You can also either through the app or by just pressing here, you can open the trunk. And watch out for if you have long hair or loose clothing, the LiDAR, so you can put your packages or suitcases in here. I believe the computer is under this little block here, so that's the only area of the trunk that's not available for the passenger. So now I'll get set up and we'll be on our way. All right, so now we're in the car and we're set up. Of course, we can use the screen here to start the ride. We can also use the mobile app, so just click the button here and start the ride. And you can slide to ride. You can start the ride without putting on your seatbelt.
Heading to UPS Customer Center. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. For any questions, press the call support button to speak with a rider support agent.
So we'll just see how long it'll play that sound. I think eventually it displays a graphic with a seatbelt. Yeah, please buckle your seatbelt. And then you buckle your seatbelt, it goes away. I don't know why this is like playing music automatically now, trying to get my channel shut down for a copyright claim or something. Anyway, so that's a micro optimization. You can actually start the ride as soon as you get into the car. You don't have to buckle your seatbelt for the first few seconds. That's like if the car is, I guess, parked somewhere awkward. So now let's talk about multi-stop trips. Multi-stop trips are a nice way to save money on Waymo. So for example, if I edit this trip and you can see right now I'm paying $13. If I go to the plus button, add a stop, make it a round trip, the total is now $19.50 before discounts. So it's a little bit less than 2x the price to make it a round trip. That's because you save the booking fee, which I believe in Waymo I heard it's like around $9 or $10. So I'll remove that stop. The other thing we can do with multi-stop trips is we can force the Waymo to take a particular route. So if I go back and add a route, and this time I'm going to select choose on map. So now it doesn't show the existing route, so you just kind of have to remember. But let's say, I don't know, like let's just make it go across and back on 16th Street. So I add the stop, and it's going to add it to the end of the list, and I'm going to drag and rearrange them. So now you can see, we used to be able to minimize this, but you can see a preview of the route in the grayed out area, and then we can update. So now it'll do like whatever, I actually don't like that, whatever this stupid thing is. I'm going to change it again. So just on map, and let's maybe, how about that? Next. All right, okay, that's a lot more reasonable.
Destination updated.
In a single Waymo trip, we only get a total of 4 stops. That's fine for normal users, but if you're trying to joyride, you will want to make more than 4 stops, right? If you have a very specific route you want to take, 4 is such a low number, you can easily use those up. So what we're going to do when we approach this, or once the car has, let's say, gotten across 16th Street, let's say that were my goal, once it has gotten to a place where it's committed to going across 16th Street, then I'm going to remove that stop before it pulls over. That's the key, right? So as long as I get it before it pulls over, then that doesn't count, and I still get to do 4 stops total on my trip. I don't know if that made any sense. And it's like whatever this parking job is here, it's going to take a while. Okay, so I'm sure this is going to be some pretty interesting driving, but I think for the purpose of this video, we're going to fast forward through all of the non-talking parts of the video. The last thing I want to mention about multi-stop trips is that you can get out of the car, but you need to have kind of another destination on the trip. Otherwise, it will end the trip and you won't be able, if you hail again, that will be considered a new trip and you will be charged a new booking fee. So actually, let's add another stop at the end.
Almost there. Don't forget your phone, keys, or bag, and any items in the trunk.
Just so that like when I get to the UPS customer center, I don't I don't leave the car and forget to have another stop at the end. So those are our 4 stops. If you see, I can add another one. Let's go to, sure, this Whole Foods. And then it says no more stops can be added on this trip. So we'll remove that. We don't actually want to go there. And we'll update the trip.
Stop added.
Okay, so our new stop is just around the corner and we've passed 16th Street. So now I'm going to go back to edit trip and I'm going to remove this immediately, the next stop. And as long as I update it before we pull over, so I'm going to update that and then I'll add a few more stops just to show that we've gotten our intermediate stops back.
Trip updated.
Okay, this is very awkward.
Destination changed to UPS Customer Center.
Okay, so now if I go and add more stops, put that one back in, and how about that one? Now I was able to add 2 more stops before reaching the limit. So that's how you work around the limit. Okay, so while we have a couple minutes until the destination, let me show just kind of the 3D visualization here. So this is actually a fully interactive 3D kind of game-like view. So you can zoom in, pinch to zoom, you can pan around. What was recently added, I think they tweaked some of the colors here, so the street is now like a dark gray, and they added back the LiDAR points. So you can see their LiDAR is actually quite detailed. You can kind of see into the windows of the bus. You can see the sensor array of Zooks, people. You can see the position of their limbs and kind of which way they're facing. So this is kind of what Waymo is working with. They see all that 3D information in quite high resolution. And yeah, all the turn signals, brake lights, even the wheels move in proportion to, to the speed of the car. Cool.
Almost there. Don't forget your phone, keys, or bag, and any items in the trunk.
Okay, so that's an annoying little pop-up every time you approach a stop. So you just have to wait for it to go away. Okay, so now what else can we do? If we press this button, it'll call support. Pull over will pull over the car very quickly. So normally when it does a pullover, it kind of hunts for a good spot, but the pullover is kind of a little like pretty firm braking. It'll stop the car right there, but it also ends your trip. So if you have more stops, those will be removed. Your trip will be ended and you'll get a receipt. And then here we also have, you can pick music. So we are not going to pick anything to avoid copyright claims. You can see Google Maps if it loads. And you can see, you can control the air conditioner. Finally, you can see like the plate number and other information about this car. So I think this is like the emergency screen. So if you were to call...
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting and don't forget any items in the trunk.
if you were to call 911, I assume that screen is kind of what you, you know, it's giving information that you would read to the 911 dispatch. Now to get out of the car, there's something, I guess, mildly interesting. So the doors are actually locked, as it says on the screen. And the first time you pull the handle, nothing happens. The door stays locked, or the door unlocks, but the door does not open. And the second time, that's how you actually get out. The car remembered that I put something in the trunk, and it did remind me to open it up here. I usually like to keep one door open on Waymos at all times so that it doesn't just randomly go away. But you actually don't need to do that. So we'll see here. I've got all my stuff, close all the doors, and there's actually a little bit of a countdown before the car leaves, which is right. And if you open the door before that countdown, let's say you forget something, you can actually open the door at any time, and then that will, once we close that, we'll reset the timer, give us another 10 seconds. And I believe you can do this as many times as you want. So, okay, where's our timer? Uh-oh. Is it not? Not fully close it? Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I think you can do this basically as many times as you want. So now the doors are locked. It's going to try to pull out, and my app will now give me a button. So with a single click, I can resume my multi-stop trip without incurring another booking fee. The car or another car will just come back to this location. Okay, this is, I guess there's like a steady stream of traffic here. So we've dropped off our package, and now all we have to do is tap this button here, request car. And the car is gonna come to us. It's gonna probably assign us, I've never been assigned to the same car twice. So it's gonna assign a different car. So zoom out to see where that is. Okay, this is also a very suspicious location, probably came straight from the depot. And it's gonna take 7 minutes to get here. Geez, I think I'd rather walk, but it is getting 5-6 p.m. That is commute time here. So it makes sense that a lot of the cars would be busy. The other nice thing about multi-stop trips is if surge pricing starts during your multi-stop trip, as long as you don't touch those destinations, you will not be charged any more money. Now on the flip side, if surge pricing ends during your trip, you will not get a better price. But what you can do is you can open Edit Trip, jiggle the destinations around, get the latest quote. And if that's lower, you can just accept it and maybe, you know, walk an extra few feet or something like that. Yeah, 7 minutes, geez. I'm gonna turn everything off and wait until this car gets here. All right, here it comes. Here we go, get excited. Okay, this is a decent pullover. So same routine as before. I'm gonna unlock, dump all of our stuff in the back here.
Good afternoon, Kevin.
Okay, we're back in the car, and I guess this time let's go ahead and start the ride
Heading
from the
to Whole
screen.
Foods Market. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. For any questions, press the call support button to speak with a rider support agent.
Okay, I think what they must have changed is now it plays like this Waymo Ambient Vibes playlist, which
Almost there. Don't forget your phone, keys, or bag.
you know, I guess it's kind of nice, but for my purposes, it's just going to get more copyright strikes. So hopefully I talked enough over the music. Okay, so the last things I think we didn't see on the screen in the previous the previous segment of this trip is you can
from Waymo. As we get going,
replay the intro video. I think this is on the support page anyway. And then finally, there's a page that tells you that the cameras are always recording, the mics only record when you're on the phone with rider support. And then there's like a short URL there. So that's about it. I think that concludes the Waymo user interface, user experience tour.
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting.
Okay. I thought it would say vehicle approaching for that, so maybe we can stay, or maybe they got rid of that. So usually if there's like a cyclist or a vehicle coming up behind the Waymo while it's pulled over, it'll say vehicle approaching, but I wonder if they got rid of it. All right, one thing I want to show here is, I think if we leave this open, or maybe they fixed it. Open one of the front doors. Yeah. Yeah, so that similar message plays on the inside and outside the door. It's like incredibly annoying. And we got our 10-second countdown before it locks and pulls away, and now we can rate our trip.